Let us discuss the topic Slater determinants. In the case of atoms with more than 2 electrons, the wave functions must satisfy the symmetrization principle. The complete antisymmetry property of the determinants can be used as a general method to construct electron wave functions which are completely antisymmetric in all cases. Since interchanging of any two rows or columns of a determinant changes the sign of the determinant, completely antisymmetric wave functions can be expressed in the form of a determinant. John Slater developed a determinant method for generating the spin spatial wave functions for multi-electron system, and these are antisymmetric with respect to the exchange of electrons. This determinant form of wave functions are called Slater determinant because they are obtained by taking the determinant of a matrix of possible one electron wave functions. The rows in the Slater determinant are labeled by the electrons and the columns are labeled by the spin orbitals. If any two rows of a matrix are exchanged, the determinant changes its sign. Therefore, a Slater determinant always satisfies the antisymmetry condition. If any two columns of a matrix are identical, the determinant is 0. This is an expression of the Pauli's exclusion principle. That is, no two electrons can occupy the same spin orbital. For example, the ground state of helium. There are two possible one electron spin spatial wave functions for each electron. That is 1s alpha and 1s beta. Here we can set up a 2 by 2 matrix in which each row corresponds to a different electron and each column to a different wave function. That is, we can write the matrix as 1s1 alpha 1, 1s1 beta 1, 1s2 alpha 2, 1s2 beta 2. Next, we have to take the determinant of the matrix and multiply by the normalization factor 1 by root 2. After that, we get 1 by root 2 into determinant of 1s1 alpha 1, 1s1 beta 1, 1s2 alpha 2, 1s2 beta 2. On expanding this, we get 1 by root 2 into 1s1 alpha 1, 1s2 beta 2 minus 1s1 beta 1, 1s2 alpha 2. For a many electron configuration with n electron, this latter determinant is psi determinant, that is equal to 1 by root of n factorial into psi 1 1 chi 1 1 psi 2 1 chi 2 1 etc. psi 1 2 chi 1 2 psi 2 2 chi 2 2 etc. where psi I chi I is the different one electron spin spatial wave function. This latter wave determinant always delivers an antisymmetric wave function, and for most energy calculation this is sufficient. This determinant is sufficient. The Hartree-Fock or self-consistent field method is a procedure for obtaining the orbital functions in the Slater determinant in order to minimize the energy. So we get the value of, by solving the Slater determinant, we get the value of energy, minimum energy corresponding to that system. This Slater function is composed of both spatial and spin orbitals. A spin orbital, it is represented by psi spin, is the product of the spatial orbital and a spin function. The spin function may be either alpha spin or a beta spin. The spin orbital corresponding to a given spatial orbitals are psi spin alpha. The spatial orbital corresponding to the spin alpha, psi spin alpha, that is equal to psi spatial alpha, that is equal to psi xyz into alpha. Similarly, for the beta spin, psi spin beta, that is equal to psi spatial into beta, that is psi xyz into beta. Here the function psi spatial has its variables coordinates x, y, z. So the spin functions alpha and beta have their variables with the spin coordinate. Sometimes it is denoted by the Greek letter psi or omega. We know that the wave function psi fits with its operator and eigenvalues according to the equation, that is Hamiltonian operator into psi, that is equal to E into psi. Similarly, the spin functions alpha and beta are associated with the spin operator, that is operator S Z. According to this, for alpha spin, S Z alpha, that is equal to 1 by 2 into h by 2 pi into alpha, and for the beta spin operator S Z beta, that is equal to minus 1 by 2 into h by 2 pi into beta. Unlike most other functions, the alpha and beta each can have only one eigenvalue. That is, for the alpha spin, its eigenvalue is 1 by 2 into h by 2 pi. And for the beta spin, its eigenvalue is equal to minus 1 by 2 into h by 2 pi. A spin function has a peculiar property that it is zero unless it is in the state of alpha or it is in the state of beta. When it is in the alpha spin state, the psi value is equal to 1 by 2. When it is in the beta spin state, it is equal to minus 1 by 2. In all other state, its value is equal to 0. A function that is 0 anywhere except that one value of its variable where it spikes sharply is called a delta function. Since this spin function psi spin, whether it is alpha or beta spin, describing an electron exists only when the spin variable psi, that is equal to plus or minus 1 by 2. These two values can be considered the allowed values of the spin quantum number ms. Sometimes an electron with the spin quantum number 1 by 2, that is an electron with the spin 1 by 2 is called the alpha electron and said to have an up spin, and an electron with the spin minus 1 by 2 is called beta spin and is said to have a down spin. Up and down electrons are often denoted by the arrows, up arrows and down arrows respectively. The Slater wave function differs from the Hartree functions not only in being composed of spin orbitals rather than just spatial orbitals, but also in the fact that it is not a simple product of one electron wave function, but rather a determinant whose elements are these functions. To construct a Slater wave function or a Slater determinant for a closed shell species, first of all, we use each of the occupied orbitals to make two spin orbitals multiplied by the spin orbitals, that is alpha and beta separately. These spin orbitals are then filled with the available electron. Let us illustrate this by taking an example with 4 electrons. We can write the Slater determinant for a 4 electron closed shell system as follows. So we get psi 1, psi 2, psi 3, psi 4. Therefore, we need two spatial molecular orbitals since each electron can hold a maximum of 2 electrons. Each spatial orbital, psi spatial, is used to make two orbitals, psi spatial alpha and psi spatial beta. Alternatively, each spatial orbital could be thought of as composed of two spin orbitals which we are separating and using to build the determinant. Along the first top row of the determinant, we write successively the first alpha spin of the orbital, the first beta spin of the orbital, the second alpha spin orbital and the second beta spin orbitals using up our occupied spatial orbitals. Electron 1 is then assigned to all 4 spin orbitals of the first row, in a sense that it is allowed to roam along these 4 spin orbitals. The second row of the determinant is same as the first, except that it refers to the electron 2 rather than the electron 1. Likewise, the third and fourth row refers to the electrons 3 and 4 respectively. The result is the following determinantal equation, that is psi determinant that is equal to 1 by 4 factorial into determinant of psi 1 1 alpha 1, psi 1 1 beta 1, psi 2 1 alpha 1, psi 2 1 beta 1, or psi 1 2 alpha 2, psi 1 2 beta 2, psi 1 2 alpha 2, psi 2 2 beta 2. The third row, psi 1 3 alpha 3, psi 3 psi 1 3 beta 3, psi 2 3 alpha 3, psi 2 3 beta 3, and the last and final row, psi 1 4 alpha 4, psi 1 4 beta 4, psi 2 4 alpha 4, psi 2 4 beta 4. The 1 by root of 4 factorial factor ensures that the wave function is normalized. That is, if we take the square of the wave function and if it is integrated out of this space, that is equal to 1. When it is normalized, we get the normalization constant that is equal to 1 by root of 4 by 4 factorial. This latter determinant ensures that there are no more than 2 electrons in each spatial orbital, since for the spatial orbital there are only 2 1 electron spin functions, and it ensures that psi is antisymmetry, since switching the 2 electrons amounts to exchanging the 2 rows of the determinant, and this changes its sign. Note that instead of assigning the electrons successively to row 1, row 2, etc., we could have placed them in column 1, column 2, etc. If we place it like that, we get another determinantal equation that is equal to psi dash, which is also equal to that of psi. In that fashion, we can construct the determinantal equation psi determinant that is equal to 1 by 4 root of 4 factorial into that determinant. This latter determinant enforces the Pauli's exclusion principle, which forbids any 2 electrons in a system to have all quantum numbers have the same value. This is rarely seen for an atom. If there are 3 quantum numbers, that is n, l and mm, of psi xyz, the spin quantum number mz of alpha or beta spin were all the same for any electron, the 2 rows or columns would be identical, and then the determinant will become vanish. For a 2n electron, the general form of this latter determinant is clearly given by a 2n by 2n determinant. That is psi 2n that is equal to 1 by root of 2n factorial into psi 1 1 alpha 1, psi 1 1 beta 1, psi 2 1 alpha 1, psi 2 1 beta 1, etc. up to psi n 1 beta 1. Second row psi 1 to alpha 2, psi 1 to beta 2, psi 2 to alpha 2, psi 2 to beta 2, etc. up to psi n to beta 2. And the final row psi 1 2n alpha 2n, psi 1 2n beta 2n, psi 2 2n alpha 2n, psi 2 2n beta 2n, etc. up to psi n 2n beta 2n. This latter determinant for the total wave function psi of a 2n atom or a molecule is given by the 2n by 2n determinant with 2n rows due to the 2n electrons and 2n columns due to the 2n spin orbitals. The number of spatial orbitals psi is half the number of the electron. We use the lowest number of occupied spatial orbitals to make the determinant. The determinant, that is equal to the total number of molecular wave functions, is just described, will leads to n occupied, that is a number of unoccupied component spatial molecular orbitals of the psi. These orbitals psi form the straightforward Slater determinant called canonical molecular orbitals. It is called canonical because in mathematics the word canonical means it is the simplest or standard form to represent the molecular orbital wave functions. Since each occupied spatial psi, that is spatial molecular orbital, can be thought of as a region of space which accommodate a pair of electrons, which might expect that when the shape of these orbitals are displaced or visualized, each one will look like a bond or a lone pair. However, Slater determinant has one major drawback. It does not accurately predict the wave functions where the two spin states are near in energy, that is such as singlet or triplet. References: Computational Chemistry, Errol Lavers, Computational Chemistry and Molecular Modeling by Ramachandran Deepa Nambudiri, Computational Chemistry, a Practical Guide for Applying Real World Problems, David C. M.